Hey guys, welcome to Panthers forecast. That was an ass whipping. That was an ass whipping. We got smoked by the Buffalo Bills. Bryce is our quarterback. It's just plain and simple. Bryce is our quarterback. This sort of settles all the questions about how the offense looks different between Bryce and Andy Dalton. As against the Bills, we weren't really as explosive with Dalton, and actually, really, some of his turnovers, prevented us to, see how good we would match up against the Buffalo Bills. So we were in our early hole really quick. But I also wanted to point out one thing. Watching this game, I saw some of Dalton's turnovers, and to be fair, I could see if Bryce was playing like the when Andy Dalton was running and he fumbled and it was recovered down on it was recovered. I could easily see Bryce. Bryce has had some of those issues last year. When we had that game against the Cowboys, Bryce was running down. We were about to score, and I believe Micah Parsons, I think, hit the ball out, sort of in a similar fashion to what happened today with Andy Dalton. And interestingly enough, we're going to be playing the Packers with Micah Parsons next week. Hopefully, Bryce is back healthy and we get to play on that game. But yeah, and another note I wanted to talk about is the turnovers. Obviously the turnovers they cost us. We're having these interceptions. They're taking it down to the one. We're getting a sack. Instead of having better, he should have just threw the ball out of bounds. Just let us get 3 points. But to sit up here, dance around, and take a sack, it's just inexcusable. So it was just overall a bad game. And earlier in the game when we were running the ball with Rico and Chuba, I still feel that we need to start Rico and start opening it up our offense, but we didn't really get to see that. The game was already over. The game that we have to sort of go away from the run to sort of throw ourselves back into the game, but that just never really happened. Another thing I wanted to say, that our passing offense was one-dimensional too as well in this game. Andy Dalton threw the ball, let me look up here, I believe 24 times. T-Mac was targeted 10 times. So that's almost half of the of his snaps. Well, his passing attempts going to T-Mac. We have to get the other guys going. So I'm looking at the targets. We have T-Mac at 10. He had 7 for 99. And then the next highest after that is 4 to Coker, 3 for 36. Sanders, these were more like short routes with Sanders, three targets, he caught 3, and then you got Liggett with 3 targets, and I think those were mainly just like, some first downs, like him running like maybe like 10 yards or so, and then coming back to the first down marker to probably get it. But we have to start stressing the vertical. We have to start getting more vertical. That's the problem with this team. So I don't think that we should make a play for wide receiver in the the trade deadline. I think we should focus more. Maybe we have Brady Christensen out and he got stretched out. Pulled out by a card, so that's never a good sign. But we need to focus on linebacker. But our passing offense is one dimensional. And it's, I can understand when you have like a great wide receiver, like let's say like a Jamar Chase, who can, he can go vertical, he can get the mid routes, he can take something short, and he can run it for like 20 yards or even take it to the house. T-Mac's a good receiver. T-Mac is our number one, but T-Mac, we have to start attempting to go deep with T-Mac. Having them start running the more 50-yard routes like a Mike Evans. We need to start sort of playing them like that, where they still give him the long balls. Because, we're targeting T-Mac, but that's just giving us these, he's getting these, crosser routes or, like medium post routes, or, just all of his routes seem to be, in the short to medium range, or they're mainly like short, and then he'll catch it and make a guy miss, and then kick up for like about like another 9 or 7 yards, and we need more explosive plays on the offense. So I think that's also what would hurt us with the Bill. Well, Dalton's turnovers was what really hurt us, but the one dimensionalness of our offense just focusing heavily on T Mac, and especially the routes he's running. We weren't attacking the vertical. We had to start attacking the vertical. Dave Canales and Brad Idzik are going to have to like eventually sit down and hash this out about the offense. We have to start attacking more vertical. We can't just be relying on these like low to medium routes. And another thing, I didn't feel like watching the game. We had like a lot of sense of urgency. I don't really remember us doing like the 2 minute offense or so, or trying to like speed it up. It was just a disaster. This game was just it was a disaster. But the one bright part of this game that I will say is that when it was in the first quarter, I want to say the game got out of hand somewhere probably in like the middle of the second quarter. The game got out of hand, but our defense was looking good. Nick Gordon was he got a sack. You had Trevin Wallace get a sack on Josh Allen. Nick Gordon, I believe he got like let me look it up. I think he got registered for almost 2 sacks. I think they gave him like a half a sack. Nick Gordon, they gave him half a sack. Oh, that's strange. Oh, they probably shared it with Ashawn Robertson or so. But yeah, when he brought down Josh Allen, and then also to Trevin Wallace, like I said earlier, we were doing good. Our defensive ends were playing good. They were playing good, and then this was the part where I think this was still in the same frame where Andy Dalton took the ball, down. He tried to run, and then they hit it out his hands. But other than that, I do want to give our defense credit. Our defense did play good in that first quarter. And I think, and I know people might say that, oh, it was just the first quarter and, blah, blah, blah. No, we were playing pretty good. So I got to give our hats off to our defense. Now, we never get to know what we would have looked like if this game was more close or competitive. But for the most part, Dalton Kincaid, wasn't tearing us up. And, Dalton Kincaid is the leading receiving. I mean, now after the games that, let me see, I want to say Shakur have, because he had that long, I think he had like a 50-yard touchdown in this game. But it should still be, what's his name? Dalton Kincaid, as of now, should still be the leading receiver for the Buffalo Bills. And I believe that one catch, yeah, he had one catch for 23 yards. I almost want to believe that one catch still came in when we were pretty competitive. But yeah, I just want to give the hats off to if there was only one good thing about this game that I could say positive, well, there's actually really two things. One, Bryce Young's our quarterback. Going forward, we can sort of leave to rest this like narrative of our offense being more competitive. Well, more different as far as in an attacking standpoint with Andy Dalton, because we didn't really see that. We didn't really see the aggressiveness with the with the play calling, and then also with the execution of the plays. But the second thing was that our defense, our defense was actually doing a pretty good job of keeping Buffalo Bills, in check. And really, we beat ourselves, I would say, in this game more so than the Bills beat us. Now, let me not take that away from the Bills. The Bills are still a great team. And I was hoping that we got to saw a more competitive game, so that way we could measure ourselves up. But that's still a good measure up. So at least we know our defense it's pretty good. We do have a pretty good defense. We'll see if we make a trade coming up on the deadline, and we'll see how the rest of the season goes and how we stack up. And then if we miss the playoffs, at least we know for sure. Next year we just need to get some linebackers and just touch it up a little bit, and I think we'll be good to go next year. So, but this was still a good showing for the Panthers as far as our defense goes for the first quarter, and then a little bit into the second quarter. Well, I guess you can say 2 quarters. The defense played really good. This game wasn't really a defensive problem. It was more of our offense. Our offense lost us this game today. But yeah, I'm looking forward to next week's game against the Green Bay Packers. I'll have a video up just letting you know my concerns, what I would like to see, and just my thoughts about the Packers. So yeah, feel free to leave comments in the section, and you guys take care. And this is Panthers forecast. All right, you guys take care. Bye.